All right, today we're diving into a really beautiful story called The Matchbox Diary. It's all about memory, family, and this incredible life journey told through, of all things, a collection of tiny everyday objects. I mean, really think about that for a second. How would you do it? How would you capture your most important memories, your childhood, your travels, all your wins and losses, if you couldn't write anything down? Well, that exact challenge is right at the heart of this story. So this diary belongs to a great-grandfather. And as a young boy, he couldn't read or write. So instead of words on a page, he collected things, just tiny, ordinary-looking objects, and he tucked each one away in its own matchbox. Every single one holds a powerful piece of his past. Now, the whole book is basically a conversation. It all unfolds through the eyes of two people, separated by years and years, but they're deeply connected by family and, by simple curiosity and love. On one side, we've got the young great-granddaughter. She's basically us, the reader, asking all the questions we'd want to ask. And on the other side, you have her great-grandfather, an immigrant from Italy, who is the keeper of this amazing diary. It's really her curiosity that unlocks his entire lifetime of stories, and that back and forth is what makes this book so special. And this is where the magic really happens. As they start opening these matchboxes one by one, a whole life just comes pouring out. Let's take a look at some of the very first objects she finds. So the first box she opens reveals an old, dried-up olive pit. You have to wonder, right? What on earth could that possibly represent? And just like that, wow, a simple object becomes something so incredibly profound. It's a direct line to his childhood poverty back in Italy, a real, tangible memory of hunger, and of his mother's love even when things were tough. It's just amazing how much story can be packed into a tiny olive pit. The story keeps building with the next matchbox. Inside this one, just a few brittle sunflower seed shells. And again, you're thinking, okay, what's the story here? He used them to mark time. Each shell was a day he survived on that long, hard journey to a new world. It's such a brilliant way to show how the most random items can become tools for survival, something to hold on to when you have nothing else. Okay, the next object brings us to his new life in America, a tiny, sharp little fishbone. This one little bone represents endless hours of hard family labor. It's a sharp reminder, literally, of the sacrifice it took to build a life from nothing in a new country. And the stories just keep coming. A pen nib stands for that life-changing moment he finally learned how to write. A piece of coal signifies the warmth and comfort of a home he finally earned. And a ticket stub? That's the pure joy of his very first American baseball game. Each tiny object is a whole chapter of his life. So when you lay it all out like this, you see this incredible life story. From a poor kid in Italy, through all the fear and hope of Ellis Island, the backbreaking work in the canneries, to this huge turning point, learning to read. And the most beautiful part? The journey ends with him owning his very own bookstore. It's perfect. So yeah, this is a deeply personal story, but it's also tapping into some really big, universal ideas. It's about so much more than just one man's memories. When you look at all these objects together, you see the bigger picture. You've got themes of the immigrant experience, the wild power of memory, and just how important it is to pass down family history. The story is also a huge champion for literacy and just a celebration of the sheer determination it takes to build a better life and leave a legacy. But that theme of legacy, it doesn't actually end with the book. There's this incredible fact about the author that adds a whole other layer to this. Okay, so get this. The author of the Matchbox Diary is Paul Fleischman. His father, Sid Fleischman, was also a famous children's author. And here's the kicker. They are the only father and son in history to have both won the Newbery Medal. I mean, talk about passing a story down through the generations. It's amazing. So after going through this whole beautiful story, the final question really gets turned back to us, It really makes you stop and think about your own life and your own memories. And that's the real magic of this book, I think. It's this beautiful reminder that our own histories are all around us, embedded in the most ordinary things. A movie ticket, a worn-out keychain, a seashell from a vacation years ago. These aren't just things. They're diaries, just waiting to be read. So I'll leave you with this to think about. If you were going to start your own Matchbox Diary right now, what would be the first thing you'd put inside? And what's the story that it would tell?